Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark. Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You unlock this door with the...
What is up, comic fam? Welcome to episode 207 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. And don't worry, it's not just Jim. Nate is in the wings. I'm prepping for his intro. I've got a little treat, and it's going to be great. But anyway, welcome to episode 207 or issue 207 of Two Fat Guys Pull List for week of April 2nd, right? Yeah, April 2nd is when we dropped. Or that's this week's comics. Jesus, I'm just fumbling the bag right now. Anyway, but before we get to the live show, we got to talk about a few things. We got to take care of some business, and one of those things is our show's sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games in the DFW area. That's right, that is the OG, the original comic book store that got all of this started. It is where Nate and I started this journey. It's where Nate is still getting his books, and is where I used to get my books. Now I'm over at Hall of Justice here in the Colorado area. But Collected is an amazing shop. So if you're ever in the DFW area, go check them out. They've got an amazing array of things. Great collection. Brent and Ron have done a great service of curating some really cool stuff outside of new comic books, trades, omnibus, hardcovers, D&D, trading cards, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, action figures, manga, posters, models, Warhammer, plushies. They got all of it. So go over to Collected Comics and Games if you're in the DFW area. They have two locations, one in Fort Worth and one in Hearst. And they also have a website called staycollected.com. It's a really awesome website where you can see all those things that I just mentioned and cover exclusives, artist exclusives, all kinds of goodies over there. So head on over to staycollected.com or go to Collected and give them some love. Show them some support because they are awesome. Also, we're on the road to 1,250 subscribers. And when we hit that sub goal, we're going to give away a slab. I don't have it with me. Again, it's in a box because I temporarily moved, and I will pull it out once I move into my new house. But that we have that. We'll be giving away a Uncanny X-Men issue number 1 signed by Jim Chung, the cover artist, and it is a 9.8 CGC grade. So it's an awesome book. It was published in 2019. So we'll be giving that away when we hit 1,250 subs. I believe we're like 96 subs away. So we're right there, guys. We just need a couple more subs and we'll be giving away a slab, and then we'll announce the next slab that we're giving away. We're also giving away a Thor number 1 Nick Klein sketch variant from Donny Cates' run, signed by Donny Cates, when we hit 2,000 subs. And yeah, that's going to be a cool thing to give away when we hit there. So that is the business. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Nate Crawford. Let me bring him in here. Let me see if I hit the right button. There he is. And that wasn't him on the screen, but that's it kind of looks like him, right?
Wow. That might be the most insulting thing you've ever said.
It kind of look. I mean, the same. You used to have long hair. That's what I'm trying to say. The guy's got he's got long hair.
Have long hair.
No, he had, but I mean, you had longer hair like that. Anyway.
Whatever.
Look, this show is called Two Fat Guys Pull List. We're both fat. Like, I had to bring in a fatty was up. So anyway, episode 207. LOL, no. Yeah, it was an interesting week of comics. I didn't have a bad time.
No, I didn't have a bad time, but I wouldn't say I finished something and was like, yes, this is great.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just a solid week of just good books. It wasn't like there wasn't anything just explosive, unlike last week when we didn't have a show and Martian Manhunter. And also, by the way, that was our pick of the week last week, was Martian Manhunter. It was amazing. It's Absolute's just killing it right now. I can't complain about anything Absolute. So that was last week, and there were also some really good books last week too that I had a good time with. So sorry we didn't have a show last week. We couldn't get it together. We both had some stuff come up, and it just is what it is. So but we're here now, and that's what's most important. So let's go ahead and kick the show off. We're gonna kick it off with Absolute Green Lantern, issue number 1 from Al Ewing and Lindsay. You know, I knew it was going to be different. You know, I think we both knew it was going to be different. I guess I just wasn't expecting this book, and that's not a bad thing. I enjoyed the book. I was fine with it. I thought it was fun. I don't think it popped as much as Wonder Woman or Martian Manhunter, or even Flash. It was a little bit more subdued. I think it was more in the vein of like Superman. I think it was more of Superman, like, and not to the extent of we know this story, because we don't know what the hell's going on in this issue. Like, this is a different take on Green Lantern for sure. But I don't know. It didn't pop as much as I wanted it to.
Yeah, it didn't either. And the sort of, I guess, like, twist of it or whatever, just the big giant symbol landing in the city, I thought was very strange. For me, it just like made no sense. Like, what?
Yeah.
What is that?
And I mean, it's obvious that that's like the mechanic, right? The mechanic is like, we don't know what's going on here. We're not supposed to know, and we're supposed to be asking questions. What I'm interested in is your take on Hal Jordan. I would assume you love it.
I mean, it's better than the normal Hal Jordan, but you can obviously tell or could guess that I'm disappointed that he was still the leading of the three, especially with Joe on the main focus on the cover.
Right.
And if we're going to continue, like, I'll give it a while, but if Hal does continue to be the lead, I will stop reading it, just because I'm like, even if it's good, I'll stop reading it because I'm tired of Hal being the center, and I'm just not going to support a book that does that.
I kind of feel like
I'll give it at least 6 issues.
I kind of feel like he's not going to be, though. I think
I do too.
We're ramping him up to be the unknowing, unexpected villain, right? Or maybe he gets killed off. Like, this corruption that's in his hand is gonna kill him, essentially.
I don't even mind him being in the book. I just don't want him to be the main character.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, time will tell. I kind of agree with you, though. Like, if you're gonna make Joe so prominent on the cover, and then she's in like 15% of the book and then quite prominently, obviously, at the end. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing, you know, especially with, I mean, I am not versed in Joe. You are much more versed in Joe than I am. But the way that you've talked about her, like, yeah, like I want to see her just be it, right? And again, let's see what happens in 6 issues. You know, it definitely has some legs. I will say I like the different character design for I don't know how to say his name. The alien Earth.
I can't remember either. Abin
Sur. Yeah, I liked that. I liked him not being just conventional, wearing the suit and being pink. Like, he looked completely. He almost looked like what's the name of that character that was in the Thor run of Jason Aaron?
Oh, Gore.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Gore. Like, and I like that. I thought that was kind of neat. And it was just kind of mysterious. Like, I do like that. I like that aspect of the book, that we're not really given any answers outside of what we can conjure up in our minds, our imaginations of how this is working, right? Like, obviously, Hal touching the symbol, the giant symbol, has corrupted his hand, so we don't know, right? If he ends up becoming, you know, our Yellow Lantern or our bad guy, I'm here for it. I think that'll be really cool. Like, I know we've had Hal as a bad guy before, but if we eventually, you know, not even eventually, pretty soon, shift our focus towards Joe being the main character and Hal being, you know, this unsavable character that we all know and we're like, oh, we're actually doing something different here, then I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
I like I do like at the end that Joe is like seems like she's powered up and like in a better position than he is. So I don't know,
Right.
maybe it's just it's just first issue, right?
First
I
issue.
won't get so intense. And it's Al Ewing, so
Right. All right, let's get to John's super chat. We missed it here at the big top of the show. He says, my top 3 this week was Daredevil, Cold Day, and Hell, WC of West Coast Avengers, and Moon Knight, despite the art. Also, I like Absolute Green Lantern, Thor. It's going away. And Lucky Devils. I wish you guys would read this. Just got to get your opinion. And I think you're going to go check out Lucky Devils. We'll get to those books. Did you read West Coast this week or no?
no,
I
had a hard time getting caught up on a lot of things this week.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll get there, but it's actually starting to turn up, surprisingly. I caught up. I had to read 2 issues prior to get caught up, but it's actually kind of turning up. But anyway, thank you, John, for that super chat. We appreciate you. Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell was close, dudes, and The Punisher. Green Lantern was good, but not enough happened to put me into my top 3. I see that. Hope everyone's doing great. Thank you, Patty. How you doing, Patty? By the way, Jaden, how you doing? Hasn't already been had a Black Lantern? Hasn't he already had a Black Lantern before? But I don't know if that's where they're going. Like, I don't know if maybe they are. Maybe they are going straight up Black Lantern for Hal. But I don't think they're doing. I think it's something different. Black Ring, yeah. So we'll see. But I'm kind of there with John. Like, I don't think enough happened, and then obviously that's on purpose, right? Like that's. Mm-hmm. We're doing something here, and we're gonna have some intrigue. But I think that there could have been a better execution. Yeah, in my opinion. I some other people might have liked it that way. I don't know. All right, keep on moving. Okay.
I also I was just saying I hadn't heard of Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, so I might have to like.
I saw it. I just didn't. I just didn't jump on it. I've been paring down a little bit until we get into the house, so I've been kind of just trying to. Sure. But then I say that, and I ended up picking up Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again. I ended up picking that up. Oh my god, it was actually kind of fun. But we'll talk about that later. All right, Absolute Superman issue number 6. You know, we're still getting that backstory, which I do like. I'm genuinely liking. I'm starting to like this run. Like, actually, I'm getting close to saying I'm loving this run because it's obviously a slow burn. Jason Aaron's doing a slow burn here, and that's perfectly fine. And I think that's what we're gonna get in Absolute Green Lantern. I liked it. I thought it was a great issue. Kind of seeing his time on the farm, and what are you doing? I liked it. I thought it was really fun. And I like still getting the backstory. I like that he's assuming that his parents are dead, and I don't think they are. I do think they're coming back. I think they're going to be kind of villainous or misguided villainous. I hope so anyway. But overall, I enjoyed the issue. I getting more. I really like the suit. I really like the suit. I really like how they handled the ship and the fact that the suit just dissolved the entire ship into Kent. I was like, dude, that is clever. Like, that's just, you've lost some evidence there, which I really like. I think if there's anything that I'm kind of like, it kind of feels like a mechanic that feels kind of overused, even though this entire idea of the Lazarus organization being in charge, I really could have cared less if Ra's al Ghul shows up and it's like everyone will bow down to. I was like, okay, like whatever. Outside of that, like, I am intrigued with Brainiac. So,
see, I'm the opposite. I don't really care about Brainiac, but I liked Ra's al Ghul showing up.
Okay,
but I mean, I think we're obvious. I think it's interesting that the first two clear, or one of the two clear bad guys here is a Batman bad guy, not a Superman bad guy. So I find that interesting.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a credit to Jason Aaron kind of pulling from every direction within the DC universe, which to me makes it more intriguing. So I guess I'm stepping on my own toes in that sense, but yeah, I guess that works. Like, I just don't. It did, like, when it ended, I was like, oh, kind of saw that coming. You know, like you know what I mean. Like
Right.
it wasn't a surprise because we've been talking about the Lazarus organization. You know, I do like the mechanic of the peacekeepers being like the enforcers of this area or whatever. I do like that. But I will say, and I know this is kind of like rush talk. I'm kind of ready for our heroes to start interacting a little bit. But I know that
What?
I know when that
You were talking about how
happened.
you didn't want these books to cross over for years. and now
No,
all
no,
of a
no, no,
sudden
no, no,
you're
no,
like,
no, 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 no. I don't want Absolute to cross over with the main timeline, and that's happening like in a couple
No,
months.
Oh, I thought you meant the books themselves even.
No, I don't mind that. We know
Okay,
that's gonna
okay.
happen. You know, like we know Batman and Superman. Like we that's. I mean, you have to get the Justice League at some point, right? Or you would assume. What I'm
We have to.
well, probably. Oh, here's my theory. So I know we're probably getting a Justice League Absolute book. Who else is about to show back up on the scene?
I don't know.
Come on now.
Is it Aquaman?
No. Ryder. Who's coming back on the scene?
I don't. I know who I think you might be saying, but that's not happening.
We'll see. I'm not even gonna say it, but we'll see.
You think
I'm
he's
just saying.
coming to DC?
Just imagine that book being written by him. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, I
like,
would read it instantly. Yeah,
I mean, I'd read any. I mean, he could write Aquaman.
sure. He could
and-
come out with a Jeff Landshark book, and I'm writing it.
He'll probably just come back. He's just gonna write his Independence. He's not coming back. I don't think he's coming back to either of the big two. But who knows?
I'm
Never
okay
know.
with that too.
Yeah. Jason Aaron is a badass writer. His current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles run is highly suggested. You guys would love it. I read the first one, but then I moved, so I kind of fell apart for me. I also say the artwork has been really good in this book. It's been really strong. I think it definitely helps the momentum of the storytelling in this book. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I liked Martha just constantly trying to help Kent and get him back to health, even though like it was very clear that she could probably have lost her life multiple times when his suit for him started losing his mind. I especially liked the scene where like his eyes are like red and he's like shooting lasers unconsciously. I was like, that's really cool. So yeah, Absolute's been super strong. I mean, it's been awesome. Birds of Prey. I mean, I kind of knew you didn't get there. Oh, dude,
too far behind. I just couldn't do it.
So we've got the situation right now in this new arc is we have somebody taking out the Birds of Prey one by one. And guess who they take out first?
Barda.
Yep. Now, how they did it, I think, was pretty clever, and I think that's how I would have done it. Essentially, they get split up, and she's searching for something, and she goes to, she gets sent to Dubai, and she's in this, giant tower, and she gets tricked into it, and when she tries to escape, the top of the tower takes off like a rocket ship into space. Right? So they shoot her, whoever's after them shoots her up into space, and then before she can get out of it, she realizes there's a bomb in there and she blows up in the atmosphere. That's how they take out Big Barda. And I'm like, you know what? That kind of makes sense. Like, if you're gonna take out a new god, you blow him up in space. Like, I don't think she's dead, but that's how they decided to take her out in this book. And now we're full on. There's hits on all the Birds of Prey right now in this book.
Mm-hmm.
I found it pretty clever. Initially, I was upset. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the minute she got taken out, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna read Birds of Prey anymore.
I mean, she'll be back though.
She will be back. But the way they took her out after it took a minute to digest it, I was like, kind of makes sense. Like, how else are you gonna take a new god off the chessboard? Like, it's pretty damn hard. Outside of Darkseid showing up and boom tubing her out of existence. So I think that's the gist of the entire issue, in my opinion. There's other things that get set up, but the team essentially gets split up to find certain things, and she gets taken out. So she's the first one out. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still enjoying Birds of Prey. I am a little frustrated that she's gone, but again, when you have a character that is basically untouchable, I mean, if you're gonna do anything and not be a Justice League or Justice League level style book of like threats, then she doesn't make much sense to be on the team unless they're taking on threats that are that big of a deal. So hopefully she comes back. I hope she's back, but we'll see. All right, I read like 4 pages of Rivals and I was out.
I actually got to like 7 pages.
Oh, nice. It's too long. It's very clear that it's built for digital. And so reading it like a traditional comic, it doesn't work. Like
it's also just not good.
Yeah, it's
boring and it doesn't like, which is weird because like we love the game and we know the base of the story, and so it's like, oh, I'd really like to see that fleshed out. And then I was like, oh no, I don't care about that at all. Nope.
I kind of wish it had been more Galactica focused. I know she was kind of in the background, which she is in the game, but to me, I wish it would have been more like the setup of Rivals rather than like, all right, we're immediately into a mission, and then like we're starting up these plot lines, and I don't know, like there was just a disconnect. It didn't even feel like it was connected to the game. Like, oh, there were things that we were used to, like storylines that we were used to in the game, but other than that, it just felt kind of forced. Like, hey, let's write a comic, and then they just did it, like ChatGPT style. Anyway, all right, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. This is my pick of the week. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was really good. I can't give it.
I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked that 8-Ball was kind of the center of this whole idea that they pulled off, this little mini heist. And remind me, Nate, I'm confused. So the Wasp that was in this book, that's not the same Wasp? Is that a different Wasp?
Yeah, that's their daughter. That's not
whose daughter?
Hank's daughter.
So he has multiple daughters?
Isn't it his daughter with Janet, right?
I don't know.
I could be confused.
Well, so when I read it, they called her a name that started with an N, right? And I was almost certain that the Wasp that I know, isn't her name like Jean or hold on, let's do some diving here.
Somebody help!
No, I guess Nadia Van Dyne. Is that her real name? I thought
Janet Van Dyne is the original
Wasp.
Yeah.
So then who's? I'm so confused. So there's multiple Wasps?
I mean, yeah, it's just a suit, right?
I guess. Okay, then I've never.
Just so like Hank was Ant-Man or Giant Man before.
Right. Okay. So this is a different Wasp than Janet Van Dyne.
Yes.
But then in the movies, okay, so Nadia is the Unstoppable Wasp. John says Nadia is the Unstoppable Wasp. She's unsufferable Janet's daughter with Hank. Okay.
I haven't been exposed to her in any other books.
I haven't either. So when
she was in Champions for a while and then something else.
All right. Well, that makes more sense. I was just like, I don't know who this is. I just don't. Like, I don't know. I'll go back to it. No, I like that. Anyway. But anyway, I liked the idea. I like that they're trying to get Hank out, trying to get him to, help with this, the glitter essentially, and figure out its components to make an antidote for it. And I liked how they were able to coax him out. Coax him out.
A little Freudian slip there.
Anyway, so I liked it. I liked that the cue ball or 8-Ball kind of created a group, the pool party. I thought that was really funny. Kind of got some first appearances, I guess, because I don't know a villain called Chalk. I thought that was kind of funny.
Didn't know Chalk.
But I liked it. I thought it was really fun, and I really liked the art. I know it's not the same artist. I liked it. I mean, it wasn't.
No, it's good. No. It's good. I was about to shit on it. That was wrong. It's good. It's not Cappuccio, and so.
I don't think. I was about to say it was I think it's the closest thing we'll get to having something of similarity, and the reason why I say that is I don't say style, but I'll say the detail orientedness of the book was good. Like it didn't feel like a complete disassociation to Cappuccio's work. Now,
yes, I agree.
Cappuccio, his line work is phenomenal. I mean, he is an inker through and through. So like the colorist really has their work cut out for them because he does I'd say 98% of the work, so if you color it wrong, I don't think that'd be too bad. But no, I liked it. I think it worked for me, and I liked the paneling. I liked the construction of the book and how like the flow of the comic worked with its lettering and with its paneling. I think it did a good job. I was never lost. And that's sometimes a worry when we jump into new artists, you can get lost in the flow of the book. So yeah. I appreciated it. I liked and I really liked the dynamic between Greer and Hank Pym, and this idea like there's just this uneasy history between them, and it's very clear that it's pissing off Mark, but Mark knows that this has to happen.
Yep. And
do we smell heartbreak? Probably.
I mean, damn.
I mean, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, but come on, like think about it.
it.
No, I don't. I want Moon Knight and Tigra to stay together. Like I crave that. But this is always going to be. It's always the friends dilemma, right? Like, will they? Won't they? Then they get together. Then they break up, and then they're no longer together for the entirety of the entire run, and then at the very end they get back together, and you'll never find out how it ends because it's all on interpretation of the reader. Fuck you. No, I want a solid storytell, but I thought it was a good book. I enjoyed it. I again, McKay, I think not in this book, but in some other books like Avengers and X-Men, he's kind of lost. I feel like he's lost I don't want to say the narrative, but just a little bit of that oomph.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't been the case for Moon Knight. I was talking to another friend of the show, Blaine over at Comic Club, and he was like, "What do I need to go read Marvel-wise?" Because he's a big DC head, and I was like, "Moon Knight. Like, what are you doing? Go read McKay's Moon Knight. Like, you are missing."
Yeah, that is definitely something that needs to be.
Yeah, like fundamental pillar. So John, art was good, but it did not always match the dialogue, which was slightly off. There was a page of Tigra saying something, and she was or how does it say that? I can't read
inexplicably.
Sorry,
in an action pose.
In an action pose, got it. But you do agree, Moon Knight plus Tigra, yeah, that can't go anywhere. But anyway, I liked it. I had fun.
Also, he said, Nadia, where is it? Nadia was mean to Spider-Man, and he's hated her ever since. That's very fair.
That's not cool. Yeah, let's keep going. All right, Psylocke, issue number 6. Very close to being my pick of the week, but it's my what's up pick of the week.
Okay.
I'm gonna abuse this button so bad. I'm sure it's gonna piss off people on the chat, but I can't. I love it so much. This was great. We're diving even deeper into Psylocke and her, her psyche, and her still trying to deal with. Man, my screen is pink because the cover's pink. Let me go to so we get bright. That's better. I don't know. This is the strongest. Storm and Psylocke are the strongest solo X-Men books. Period. And she's dealing with what we think is something psychologically, but we travel down this rabbit hole of is she haunted? Is she cursed? Is it psychological? She goes and talks to Magic, and she finally tells Magic like something's up. I'm seeing, weird ghost versions of everybody, and then my, me being split into 2 different personalities. Storm is good. Storm is amazing. And I miss it. I can't wait for it to get back on the show once ever it comes out again.
Next week, right?
Hell yeah. All right. I don't remember. I haven't looked at it yet. But Psylocke it's just good. And so she ends up, Magic's kind of like, well, let's go see if you're haunted. And so she ports them over to New Orleans. And you're like, wait, didn't we just have like a big feud between our teams? Well, yes.
Yeah,
and who are we going to see? Let me pull it up here so I know the name specifically. It's one of the New Mutants that we have on the team on Uncanny. It's the undead kid from Kyoto.
Oh, I like
that. Yeah, dude. So the minute he popped up, I was like, all right, here we go. Let me get his name because I want to totally don't have his name. Anyway, she goes and talks to him. And he basically is like, yo, you're haunted. Like you're not just haunted, like you're haunted. Yeah. And so he's like, let me hold your hand and I will find out what the hell's going on here. And when they find him, he's out in a graveyard just chilling in the middle of the night. And right before, what up, Joe?
Ooh, Minecraft.
Oh,
movie.
Minecraft movie. We just saw that today too. It is so good.
Is it really?
I had a great time.
Okay.
Let me pause here. All these critics saying that it's ass. Don't listen. If you saw the trailer and you're like, you know what, that looks like fun, then go see it because it is really good. Like the Sonic movies, they're dumb. They're fun, but they're dumb. They're pacing. There is no pacing in those movies. They're just like jump to scene to scene. Minecraft is a movie. It is a genuine movie. It's really fun. So if you have any sort of inkling to go see it because I had a blast with my boys. It was fun. Anyway, back to Psylocke. So before they can hold hands, Rogue shows up and she's pissed. She's like, what the hell are you doing here? And Psylocke is trying to explain to her what's going on, and then our undead kid grabs her hand and full blown exorcism, possession, dark entity going after Psylocke, and that's how it ends. Alyssa Wong, she's just killing it. Yeah. I mean, I know we say it and we try not to, but like there was a blip with Captain Marvel. It is what it is. But like her Deadpool run, amazing. And this is no exception. This was so good. So highly recommend if you're not reading Psylocke. Well, if you don't like Psylocke as a character, then don't read it because I don't think you'll like it. But if you're looking for more of a stable X-Men title outside of our current X titles, excluding Storm and Uncanny, then pick up Psylocke. I think it's really good. I'm having fun with it, and Alyssa Wong is just having a ball, and I'm here for it. So, yeah,
I'll catch up.
Do it. I think you'll like it. All right, Ultimate X-Men number 14. I am convinced we are just barreling down towards this idea of the X-Men that Peach is creating will at some point collide with all the other Ultimates that we have in this Hickman Ultimate universe. I can't complain about it. I think if there's one complaint that I have of the book, it is that we're 14 issues in, and now I kind of feel it. I feel it a little bit because there's things that are being referenced that happened.
Yeah, over a year ago.
Yeah, so if there's any criticism, it's that. But I can go back and read,
Right, exactly.
Oh, why do we not call her Quinnan anymore? They do in the book a couple times. Specifically in
Didn't
this
it
arc.
have to do something with when her and Betsy separated though? Like Quantum was sort of like, Psylocke is my name, and Betsy was like, yeah, maybe. It's not my name.
I think it's really just up to the.
I think so, but
yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think it is more up to whoever's writing it first.
Writing it, yeah. But she's been mentioned as Quinnan, specifically in this arc with the Betsy personality kind of merging into her right now.
Well, it also kind of depends on, depending on who she's talking to or is talking about her, they are specifically using their
what they
regular human names and their X-Men names, and those are her two names. And so they can be interchangeable based on who she's talking to.
John, I totally understand what you're saying there, and I think it's starting to come across a little bit when we're referencing, like Nate said, things that are happening a year ago. So I think outside of when I think where the book starts to lose you, or at least lose me, is when we are in the middle of these action sequences and then we like immediately jump. Like, I don't think it's as transitioned as much as it could be when coming to going to the next scene, right? Like, we were in this like alternate dimension where we were fighting, and then suddenly we jumped into the past, which we got some explanation of, which was really good. And then there wasn't any transition from that to, are we back into the main, like, where are we? Is this in the past? Is this, where are we? I think the back end of the book was kind of confusing.
Well, yeah, we're all of a sudden in the middle of a fight, and then we go to the flashback, and then we go to, I guess, post-fight and scenes after that. So it's okay. Peach is not perfect. Just, you know.
No, but overall,
a little bit sloppy. It's okay.
Overall, I'm excited for it because I want to see. What I want to see is Peach's take on the other Ultimate characters, because they're going to cross over into this book, and then vice versa when they jump into the other books, or whatever, you know, Alpha / Omega we get with the Ultimates. So we'll have to wait and see. Trail says, I thought the whole Betsy swap was undoing the name. I mean, I don't have enough.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I don't know enough to have a definite answer on that, but we can definitely find out. Joe, Psylocke, being on my pull list this far into a run is a true result of that. It's a banger. I've learned so much about the character, and now I'm a big fan. Mission complete for Wong and company, 100%.
Yeah.
Also, Ultimate X-Men and Black Panther got relegated to Marvel Unlimited. The pacing sucks eggs worth a little plot moving. Wait, did it get relegated to Marvel?
No, he's saying for him. For him.
Oh. I was like, dude, don't scare me. Jesus. Just heart skipped a beat a little bit right there. Anyway. All right, West Coast Avengers. I see how this is in John's top 3. I got caught up. I hadn't read since issue 4, so I read issue 4 and 5 before 6 came out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, all right, we're starting to build something here, you know? The cover is not a red herring. This definitely does happen.
Okay.
So let's just break it down. So the Avengers proper have found out that Tony has Ultron on the West Coast team. They're like, what the fuck? So they show up to be like, what are you doing, Tony? And then chaos ensues. We do find out that Ultron is being as honest as he can be. Vision ends up like, you know, Ultron lets him go into his like source code and like look through his entirety, and like he realizes that everything and anything that Ultron has done is in his memory. It hasn't been wiped, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of misdeeds going on. But then as this is happening, Ultron says that he can't control himself, and he starts choking Vision, and he's like, I can't stop it, I don't know what's happening. And then Tony releases a failsafe to stop him, which I'm not going to spoil that, it's pretty damn cool. And we find out, you know, Ultron learns that Tony lies to basically everybody on the Avengers. It's kind of an initiation. You know, he lies to you at some point, mm-hmm. and that's how you know you're really an Avenger. And so when this failsafe happens, it pisses off Ultron, and he's like, I thought we had some trust, so, you know, I'm gonna go figure my shit out and see if I really want to be on the team or not. I'm like, ooh, dang, you know, this is some crazy shit. And the failsafe is really cool, I will say that, and it has to deal with the Wasp. I thought it was pretty cool.
Okay.
So overall, I think West Coast is starting to Gary Jerry is starting to turn the corner for me, where I'm like, okay, I fucked up. I should have kept on reading. I don't know why I stopped. But
there's a but.
There's a big old but. Big old booty. I still do not like Iron Man being in 3 different books, dealing with 3 different situations. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense that he's on the current Avengers team. Then he's on this West Coast Avengers team, and then he's doing his own thing on his own book. It just doesn't. And I guess for me, the reason why I'm saying this is because all these writers are trying to make it happen all at the same time, right? The Iron Man book is not a standalone Iron Man book. It's in current continuity, right? Avengers is not a standalone Avengers book. There are things weaving in and out of it, different storylines coming from different books.
Yeah.
Then you've got West Coast Avengers, which is doing the exact same thing. And so Tony's motivations and aesthetics and appearance don't make any sense. Like, to the point where it's really like, this is dumb. This is really stupid. Like, either you're on the Avengers or you're on the West Coast Avengers.
Right.
War Machine isn't on the Avengers and he's not on the West Coast too, and he's in two different places at the same time. No.
Right.
So I don't know. That's, if there's one thing to complain about, it is like, take Tony off the Avengers. Take Tony off the Avengers and the Iron Man book and just have him on the West Coast. And let it play out. And then once it's over, then he can have his own book again and whatever. But it's frustrating because we're gonna get an Avengers book in a couple weeks and they're dealing with Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's also currently getting his ass kicked in a separate Doctor Doom tied in book. It's just so much fun.
Who's protecting the Midwest? 100%.
There was a Great Lakes Avengers book for a short time.
I remember that. John, West Coast Avengers is fun. The writing is so loose, but in a good way. I never knew where it was going. I never know where it's going, and I actually laugh while I'm reading it. 100%, I'm right there with you. A blind person would gravitate to it on the shelves. West Coast Avengers is my Tony Stark fix. His solo run is so bad. I stopped reading after the first issue. Iron Man's own book is crap, but that they need to eventually ignore and retcon. First time in over a decade I dropped an Iron Man book.
Oh, wow.
If you think that's bad, look at Wolverine, Uncanny X-Men, Wolverine proper, Wolverine / Deadpool team up, and Extreme X-Men. Yep. Same with Deadpool.
You're very right there.
Yep. I always did like Iron Man as part of the West Coast team. Same with Spider-Man. Yep. Anyway, I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I caught up. I was reluctant to do it, and then everyone got on my ass about it. Thank you. And now I'm better for it, so I appreciate it.
I couldn't wait for this book. It was so Tell me why I should have read it.
I don't know. If you don't want to read it, don't read it. I'm not gonna tell you to read it or not. But it would appear that McKay has finally found his footing a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason why I say that is because when we started this run, he established multiple storylines. And then they all kind of faded out of existence because we were either tying into something or doing something else, or we were doing this stupid X-Men Hunt event that could have been its own book, and then it would have been even stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And so it finally feels like we're back to what McKay was trying to do, right? We had that but we had this really quick glimpse of who was on this bad guy council that's fucking with the X-Men. They're called M3, or I can't remember. And it was Cassandra Nova, and we were both like, where did that come from? Well, now we're starting to actually get the foundation of that character and where she is. She's on that council, so she's messing with the X-Men. But we're getting all these storylines that we were getting in the X-Men run loosely, and they're finally starting to kind of come together.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had a very cohesive X-Men book this month.
Okay.
Stegman.
We ain't got to talk about it anymore. We know.
Well, it wasn't the worst I've seen from Stegman on this book. I felt like it was a little cleaner from him than previous issues. That being said, I agree with you, John. Okay, this book is my lifeline to the X-Men. Please get rid of Stegman, though. Such a mismatch. I agree. And I don't know, and I've said this multiple times, I don't know if it's Stegman and the colorist is just not vibing with Stegman, or if it's really Stegman. I would say in previous issues, it was Stegman, because there were multiple times where we were both looking at the art and going, this feels rushed. Like, this doesn't feel like it feels like he's just getting it done to get it done. Whereas in this issue, I didn't get that feeling a lot. There were a couple times, but nothing to the point where I was like, I can't read this.
Yeah.
Like it felt like Stegman outside of the coloring, because again, the colorist, I think it's too bright. I just think Stegman's artwork is dark, it's gritty, it's kind of grimy, and the colors are just too bright. They're too bright. So, but if I put all that aside, and I think he did a good job in this book, 100%, because I couldn't do it.
Okay.
I could never. I would never be.
Well,
able to do
yeah.
this. But it finally felt like McKay. I felt like I could hear McKay's voice and his what he's trying to tell, the story he's trying to tell here. I thought it was fun, and I'm like, okay, I'm still here. Now, I'm not picking up any other X books outside of X-Men, Uncanny, Psylocke, and Storm. Nothing else is,
No more Phoenix.
No, I haven't picked up Phoenix in like 2 issues. I just haven't, because she's literally doing her own thing, and I'm very more in the like, I want a cohesive X-Men
Big
experience.
picture stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's nothing to say that the book isn't bad. I'm just not interested in it.
Yeah. That's fair.
But this is, I'm starting to be like, okay, can we just, this to me is a signal that we're gonna possibly let Hickman McKay just do his thing. Like, no more tie-in events, no more Doom, and just let him tell his story so we can move the plot forward and really find out what we're doing with the X-Men. And to be honest, I think a lot of us are thinking, so when are we going back to Krakoa? Because we mentioned it so much in the previous issues of like, this is the first rise and fall of Krakoa. Okay, well, I guess, so when are we getting the second one? Like, come on. So we'll see. But overall, I liked it. Ken Omega gets fucked up in this book, like bad, like really bad. We lose our Marauder ship. It gets blown up. We got a lot going on. There's some weird shit going on in this book. But overall, I enjoyed it. I had a better experience with issue 14 than I have had in pretty much the entire run. Because it felt so choppy and so just not X-Men. It just hasn't felt like the X-Men. And this issue kind of felt like X-Men a little bit. Beast still looks weird though. I'll just tell you that. Like, no, I don't think there's any kind of coloring. He just looks like, how they released the new Donkey Kong, and he's got he got his eyes, and then there's like a black like shadow under his eyebrows. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's how Beast looks in here, and it just looks weird. I don't like it.
I remember.
John saying Magic is good in my opinion. Hell yeah. Stegman is the only Donny Cates I'm getting right now. LOL. McKay is carrying the book a bit. Having Stegman is my comfort art. 100%. I miss the New Mutants. I get that trail. And X Factor. The X Factor we read in the Krakoa was really good.
Yeah, Leah Williams. Leah. I don't remember. But
if they teamed up with McKay and the artist from Wolverine, then it's the GOAT. Wolverine is the current Wolverine, or are you talking about absolute or Ultimate Wolverine? Because Ultimate Wolverine right now, holy shit. John, can I get a Nate opinion on the last issue of Deviant? You ever read it?
Not yet. You can't.
We got some catching up to do.
The stack I picked up.
Yeah, we've got some catching up to do. Nate. I did the move. Nate's changed jobs, so there's been a lot of ebbs and flows on the show. It's very evident, but we'll get there, guys.
Yeah, it's about to be a little bit more change in my life. I'm moving out of my apartment in 3 weeks. So.
Oh shit! So
yeah,
we're flying. We'll get there, guys. Though. We'll get there. And then I'll be moving in like a couple months. So like, there's gonna be a lot.
2025 is a year of transition for us.
Yeah, year of transition. I like that. a lot. Let me talk about this book really quick because I want to talk about it.
Please.
Where is it?
While you find it,
Okay.
I hinted. I don't know if we directly covered it, but I hinted at a new Mad Cave book called Pastime.
Yep.
And it's like a horror baseball book. The first issue didn't hook me enough to be able to suggest it to y'all at all. However, it is horror and baseball, and I'm obsessed with both, especially a baseball comic. So I will report back on issue 2, and if it's good enough, I'll say let's cover the show, and I'll tell you about what's going on so far.
All right, cool. So it didn't, but I mean, overall, you were not as impressed, but you're giving it a shot.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about this book. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe one last time. I wasn't gonna pick it up, but then I was in the shop and I was just kind of looking around, and I saw this cover and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. I mean, silly goose time, right?
Mm.
Anything but.
Not
to the
silly
point.
goose time?
I had a good time with it though. Like I'm genuinely intrigued. So we've got this Deadpool who gets recruited by, I can't remember who it is. It's someone who is working for Oblivion, and he's killing essentially villain adjacent versions of our heroes, right? So he kills Superior Spider-Man. He kills a version of Daredevil that's like actually a demon. He kills an undead version of Punisher. And then there was another character that Kraven's daughter he kills. And then he gets like, there's like like a problem with his time sliding mechanic. And he gets ported into the 616. And so he's like, oh, so I got to kill these people next. And then his little agent's like, no, don't. This is the universe you're supposed to save.
Yeah.
And he's like, the fuck? And that's how it ends, right?
Oh, okay.
What's crazy about it is like this version of Deadpool isn't the funny kind. Like he's like dead serious. He's kind of like, I've seen this shit before, and I'm just here to do a job. And I found it kind of fun. Now Joe's saying the original one, read the original one, wasn't a fan. I don't know. I have no experience with it. I haven't read it, but I was very intrigued with this when it ended, because it was like, oh, the cover's essentially a red herring. He's not killing the Marvel Universe. He's actually having to save the 616. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, you got me there. Like I want to check it out. So I picked it up. It'll be I'll pick it up, and once the book loses me, it'll lose me. But I am genuinely surprised that I liked the book. So, if you're, I don't know, I liked it. I will not buy this book because of Cullen Bunn wrote it, and I've never liked a book he wrote in my life. You guys need to get on Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell. Nate's in. Okay.
Yeah. I'll read the first issue and see.
Okay. Pull my arm. Twist my arm once, Joe. Twist my leg. Does it twist my leg? I don't remember. Anyway.
Twist my arm.
All right,
pull
guys.
my leg.
Yeah. Pull it. Twist it. Pop it. What did I say? Anyway.
Don't worry about it.
People are gonna hate that button. Let me know. Should I get rid of it? I love it. It makes me giggle every time I hear it. Anyway. Next week. Let's see. Next week's kind of light.
Next week is a little light.
If I
think
remember,
like 7 books.
Correctly. What? Yeah, 7 books. Have you read Asgard yet? Doctor Strange Asgard?
No.
Okay. If you want to, go for it. If not, no biggie. I'm gonna read it. We do have a storm. Is it is it one of these like? Oh no. It's a 50th anniversary, so I have a feeling we're gonna have like. Do we have multiple writers? Maybe not. No, we only got one writer. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I'll calm down.
I'll calm down. Ooh, this there's some cool covers though. Oof. Anyway, I'm excited for that. But all right, yeah, it's 7 books. That's not bad. I like that. Oh, dude. Okay, we'll talk about it on Tuesday. Don't worry. But anyways, guys, let's end on chat here, and then we'll tip out here. John will do it. Don't worry, we will do it. Honestly, thought it was another reprint. Wasn't the original reprinted a bunch of times, or did it have lots of sequels? I think it had lots of sequels.
It did.
Murder mystery. Yeah. All right, let me know about the was up button. Do you guys hate it or you love it? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know, because I'm gonna keep it. I think I'm just gonna keep it because I think it's funny. I'll try not to abuse it as much as I did, because like I know it's kind of annoying and I shouldn't do that, but you know, I'll make sure that I don't use it too much. Anyway, all right, guys, we'll catch you guys Tuesday for another fresh new comic book day video, and then we'll have a short, and then we'll catch you guys live again this Sunday, where we'll talk about 7 books and maybe something else. Who knows? John says keep it. All right, well, you pay the bills around here, so I will keep it if you say it. John's the boss. So we'll keep it. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you guys next week. And as always, be kind to one another and read more comics. We'll catch you guys later. Bye. Jaden, I'm just glad. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, man. Appreciate it.
I'm glad I was here too.
Yeah, same. How about them Rangers?
Oh gosh, yeah, the best team in the American League. Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, I've watched the highlights because I don't get the games up here. I'm thinking about getting. I'm thinking about it. If they can keep it up, I might keep it. I might get it.
Do it.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't, because the minute I get it, they're gonna suck.
No, they're not, dude. This is gonna be a good year.
All right.